Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be speaking to you all in this wonderful conference. Thank you, Dr. Yeshuran, His Excellency Dr. Yeshuran, and Dr. Tina for setting up the context of the day 3 of this workshop, which is Transform, Digital Transformation. How ID and digital technologies can be used to transform lives. Now, any digital transformation requires technologies, tools to be part of as building blocks of your digital infrastructure. So I'm going to be talking about one such tool, one such technology, and that's called OpenG2P. Now, we saw in the previous presentation from Dr. Tina how important it is to use technology for social protection and social benefit transfers. And this is what OpenG2P is about, how to use ID and other digital technologies for delivering government-to-person services, specifically social benefit transfers. So the session says Decoding OpenG2P, and let's decode it a bit. OpenG2P Open stands for open source, and G2P stands for government-to-person. And as you can see, there are several challenges today with the social protection programs and the way social benefits are delivered. We all know these, but they are persisting. Vendor locking is an issue. Several countries come to us with their own. They already have systems running, but they can't change them anymore. Data is not really exchanged across departments and shared. Coverage is an issue. Processes are manual. Lots of processes in social deliveries are manual today. And of course, identity, leakages, and so on is a common problem. So, we envisaged OpenG2P with a vision to accelerate social protection, financial inclusion, and digital development. What exactly is OpenG2P? Let's decode it a bit. It's an open source social benefits delivery program. And although we do support in-kind and voucher-based delivery, we are focusing on digital cash transfer because that seems like that is the future of benefit delivery. As I mentioned, the idea is to digitize and automate the service delivery, and importantly, inclusive. Dr. Tina also mentioned this point that while we are using a lot of tech, the non-tech or the low-tech should not get left out. And so that's a constant thought while designing the solution. OpenG2P is digital public good. It is recognized by DPGA. And as I mentioned, it can form a building block of the digital public infrastructure of your country. Guiding principles, yes, we do keep this in mind while designing the product. Interoperability, big thing. We have several DPGs working today, several components. We have to make sure that the components are interoperable. Transparent, well, all our processes are open, our code is open, the Jira, the bug tracking, the feature development, everything is open out there. Inclusive, yes, the point about not missing out on anyone because of certain usage of technology. And sustainable, of course, because being open source, governments have to run these programs for several years. We want to make sure that there is support, as well as these code, etc., is available in open source for governments to use. The platform as such, it's, as I mentioned, it is an open source platform. It is available as Mozilla Public License 2.0 on our GitHub. We look at this delivery chain. In fact, in previous presentation, also we looked at this very typical delivery chain, which for delivering social benefits, which starts with registration, authentication, deduplication, figuring out eligibility, who should be part of the program, notifying the beneficiaries, deciding how much money or food the beneficiary should be getting, and actually carrying out the delivery, the cash transfer, and of course accounting and reporting. So this is a very typical chain, and we offer open source modules and components to address several parts of this chain. So this looks like an overwhelming diagram, but I'll not go into every detail here. What I want to tell here is that we have a modular structure where the yellow boxes that you see are the various modules offered by OpenG2P that address the beneficiary delivery chain that we saw in the previous slide. The heart of OpenG2P is something called Program and Beneficiary Management System, the big block that you see in the center. And on the left-hand side, you see a social registry block. We are getting several requests on the need for establishing, let's say, a national social registry or a social registry on its own in many countries. And so this block can be installed on its own, and you can have your social registry, implemented with this block. You will also see a lot of G2P Connect mentioned in various places, and that is what is interoperability bit, where all these blocks, we have made sure that we use open standards. G2P Connect is one of the open standards being used today, and we are making sure that we implement these interfaces such that a social registry can be used by anyone else, any other department, any other MIS system, as long as the data is possible to read the data by a common interface. So, we are making sure the interoperability is set. On the right-hand side, you see a couple of components which are related to cash transfer, digital cash transfer. As we said, we are looking at digital cash transfer. Something like, if you see something called Social Payments Account Registry on the top right, this is a very interesting module. In fact, it looks very simple, but this is a huge inclusion module for delivering cash. It basically is an ID account mapper, which maps your identity to account information. It could be a bank account or a mobile wallet. And so this module, it has been hugely successfully used in India. It's called ID account mapper, where the beneficiary can choose where he or she should receive the cash. It could be a mobile wallet or a particular bank account. This is a hugely inclusive feature that you can offer to the beneficiaries. They can choose where they want to receive the money. Very simple module, but yet very powerful. So all these we are offering as part of the OpenG2P modules. And what are the possibilities? I'll give you just a few examples of what all we can do today with all the digital, the infrastructure and digital software. Like you could use an offline registration toolkit. We offer such a toolkit which is just based on tablet, and of course many of you are familiar with the ODK technology. So with this, you can register individuals in the remote areas where there is no connectivity. You can do a ID verification using QR code, and we have kind of embedded all this in the ODK app. You can do geotagging and so on. We heard a lot about eSignet. We have used eSignet to offer features like login using your national ID. And such feature can be offered in all your portals where you have a national ID which has APIs for authentication. So you can offer a feature like sign in with a national ID. And so several of your portals can start using that. We have an integration and an example sample codes for these if you would like to try. This is interesting, e-vouchers. We piloted this in one of our pilots in Philippines. And it's basically, if you issue a guarantee letter, why not make it digital and digitally signed? And this is a very simple step, but yet again, a very powerful possibility, where to your beneficiaries, you can issue a voucher which is digitally signed. And this voucher can be verified using a simple application on any phone. This can open up several use cases. In fact, we have the technology, but we are looking for more use cases in countries where this can be creatively used for effective service delivery. We recently implemented this powerful feature where you could download your beneficiary card. That means a beneficiary can download an e-card, which on the ING application or any other wallet application, And this card is in a standardized format called verifiable credentials. So this can be produced as a proof and can be verified. So we think this is very interesting, and of course, more digitization needs to happen for really deriving benefits from this, but we are offering this now. Just example of how we do a digital cash transfer direct to beneficiary. We use this social payments account registry we call SPAR, and on the left-hand side you would see that OpenG2P, or for that matter any system, just sends the ID information and how much amount needs to be transmitted, how much amount needs to be transferred. The upstream departments need not know the account numbers or account information of the beneficiary, only the ID is required. And via a query to the SPAR, Social Payments Account Registry, you could appropriately direct the cash transfer to the bank or mobile phone. Yeah, I mean, this is just what we have done is ID Mapper, however, is in India, the ID Mapper is updated by banks only, but we have made it ID Account Plus. I mean, we have offered an interesting feature here where a user can log into the SPAR and upload or update bank account information or mobile wallet information himself or herself. And I think this is also powerful, where in case all your banks are not ready with the APIs, at least we can start offering this feature so that user can log in and update the information where they want. So this is an addition to the traditional ID Mapper architecture that we are providing here. Social registry module, yes, if you want to have a social registry which follows some interesting features, like it can issue verifiable credentials. Well, users can actually update the information. It is well privacy protected. This social registry offers those kind of features. In fact, we learn from MOSIP's privacy and security protection. We have used the same modules to make sure that these registries are also, very secure and privacy oriented. Importantly, you can update the information in registry in various ways. By the pulling data from other places, self-service portal, or an office agent-assisted offline registration. And of course, dashboarding and interesting reports and so on. And of course, OpenG2P offers several monitoring tools for you to see what's going on the field. Monitor how's your registry is doing, beneficiary registries, what is the composition, gender mix, how much money has been transferred so far, monitoring multiple programs, and so on. And just one example of what we did in July in Philippines. They have a department, the DSWD department, which is the Department of Social Welfare and Development. We did a pilot, and this was basically automating or digitizing the AICS program of Philippines, and this was done in conjunction with PhilSys ID and OpenG2P. It was very interesting because we saw how even little bit of automation and digitization can make a difference to the entire process, where the beneficiaries actually came to these counters were set up, and they enrolled themselves using the cards, the QR code-based cards that they have, PhilSys ID, and applied for the scheme over there. And then there was the social workers who were estimating or rather figuring out the entitlement and so on that has to be given. It was a very interesting exercise, but again, it was more of a showcase of how any digitization, automation can really help the delivery chain. All right, so thank you so much for the attention.